The Minnesota Vikings are cooking something special in training camp, and it's not just the veterans turning heads. The biggest surprise of all? Undrafted free agent Elijah Williams, a defensive tackle out of Morgan State, is making a serious case to stick with the team. This guy's been an absolute force, showing up big time in the first 2 preseason games. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been laser-focused on beefing up the trenches, and his off-season moves are paying off. The additions of Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave were headline grabbers. No doubt, Allen with his 17 seasons of experience and Hargrave's knack for disrupting quarterbacks. But it's the depth pieces like Williams that are proving Kwesi's got an eye for talent. So, who's this Elijah Williams kid, and why's he got the coaching staff raving? Let's talk about how this undrafted rookie is making roster decisions a nightmare for the Vikings. In the best way possible. What do you think? Can a small school guy like Williams make the final cut? Let me know in the comments. How does a guy like Elijah Williams go from Morgan State to turning heads in Vikings camp? It's all about connections, Vikings fans. Defensive coordinator Brian Flores gave a major shout-out to passing game coordinator and defensive backs coach Durant Jones for this find. Jones, a Morgan State alum, scouted Williams and saw something special, calling him a guy with a little yellow something to him. That's coach speak for pure potential. Flores couldn't stop praising Williams during his Tuesday press conference, saying he's smart, hardworking, and talented, and it's all showing up on tape. The kid's been so consistent that he's making it tough for the Vikings to cut him, even with a stacked defensive line. Imagine that, a rookie tryout player forcing his way into the conversation with veterans like Allen and Hargrave. This is what makes the Vikings scouting department so exciting. With guys like assistant GM Ryan Grigson finding gems like Jalen Redmond last year and now Jones spotting Williams, the front office is building a reputation for uncovering diamonds in the rough. Who else do you think the Vikings might unearth this season? Drop your predictions below. Let's talk about the defensive line depth, because it's absolutely loaded. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave are the big names, bringing veteran savvy and pass rush prowess. Allen's got a track record of big-time plays against quarterbacks, and Hargrave's no slouch either, with both guys expected to keep the line fresh with a strong rotation. Add in Harrison Phillips, who played 675 snaps last season, and you've got a unit that's ready to dominate. But here's where it gets spicy. Jalen Redmond, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and draft pick Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins are also in the mix, making the D-line a nightmare for opponents. Last year, the Vikings had one of the NFL's stingiest run defenses, allowing just 93.4 yards per game on the ground. With this crew, they're poised to be even better in 2025. The question is, where does Elijah Williams fit in this stacked group? His performances are making it harder and harder to deny him a roster spot, but the math is brutal. Only so many guys can make the final 53. What would you do if you were Kwesi? Keep the rookie or stick with the veterans? Let's hear your take. Elijah Williams isn't just a feel-good story. He's a legit problem for opposing offenses. This kid's been the most consistent player across the Vikings' first 2 preseason games, showing up with relentless energy and playmaking ability. Coming from Morgan State, a smaller program, he's proving that talent can shine from anywhere when given a chance. Brian Flores loves what he's seeing, noting that Williams is making things tough for the coaching staff. That's high praise when you're competing against guys like Redmond, who was a UFL standout last year, and Taki Taimani, another undrafted gem from the 2024 offseason. The Vikings' D-line room is so deep it's like a treasure chest of talent. What's crazy is how Williams got here. A rookie tryout, spotted by Durant Jones, who knew he had something special. The stories like this that make you proud to be a Vikings fan. So, tell me, have you seen Williams' highlights yet? Drop a comment if you think he's the real deal. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. The Vikings' front seven is getting everyone in the NFL talking. The Athletic called it a group that has the team over the moon. And it's easy to see why. With Allen, Hargrave, and Phillips anchoring the line, plus versatile playmakers like Redmond and Rodriguez, this unit has the juice to wreak havoc. Elijah Williams is just the latest piece of this defensive puzzle. His ability to stand out in a room full of studs shows how much depth the Vikings have built. Last season, Flores' defense racked up 62 hurries, 69 knockdowns, 49 sacks, and 180 pressures. Numbers that put them among the league's best. With Williams in the mix, could this be the year they take it to another level? I want to hear from you, Vikings Nation. Is this defensive line the key to a deep playoff run in 2025? Or do we need more pieces to compete with the NFC's elite? Hit the comments and let's debate. The Vikings scouting department deserves a standing ovation. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has turned this team into a talent-finding machine. Last year, it was Jalen Redmond, a UFL player who came out of nowhere to make an impact. The year before, Taki Taimani, an undrafted free agent, caught everyone's attention. Now, Elijah Williams is continuing that trend of finding hidden gems. Assistant GM Ryan Grigson got props for discovering Redmond, and now Durant Jones is getting his flowers for spotting Williams. It's not just about luck. These guys are putting in the work, digging deep into smaller programs like Morgan State to find players with heart and hustle. That's the Vikings way. What's next for this scouting crew? Are there more Elijah Williams types out there waiting to be discovered? If you were in charge of scouting for the Vikings, where would you look for the next breakout star? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's get real. Roster cuts are coming, and it's going to be a bloodbath. The Vikings can only keep 53 players, and the defensive line is one of the toughest groups to trim. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and Harrison Phillips are locks, no question. Jalen Redmond, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins are also projected to make the cut, according to recent reports. But what about Elijah Williams? Despite being an undrafted rookie, he's done enough to get noticed by other teams, meaning he could get claimed off waivers if the Vikings try to sneak him onto the practice squad. That's a risky move for a guy who's been this consistent. Here's the big question. If you're Brian Flores, do you fight to keep Williams on the 53-man roster? Or do you trust the depth and let him battle for a practice squad spot? Drop your vote in the comments and let's see what Vikings Nation thinks. The connection between Durant Jones and Elijah Williams is straight up heartwarming. Jones, who played at Morgan State, knew exactly what to look for when he scouted his alma mater. He saw that spark in Williams and brought him to the Vikings' attention. That kind of personal connection can make all the difference in scouting. Flores said it best. Williams is a great kid who works hard, is smart, and has talent that's jumping off the tape. When a coach like Flores, known for his defensive genius, is singing your praises, you know you're doing something right. It's no wonder the Vikings are struggling to figure out how to keep him. What do you love most about these underdog stories? Is it the hustle, the heart, or the fact that the Vikings keep finding these guys? Let me know in the comments, and let's keep the Skull spirit alive. Let's talk about Brian Flores for a minute, because this man is a defensive mastermind. His scheme is what makes players like Elijah Williams shine. Last season, Flores' unit was top tier, tying for 4th in sacks and 2nd in total pressures. With additions like Allen and Hargrave and now Williams pushing for a spot, this defense could be downright scary in 2025. Flores' ability to maximize talent is unreal. He's got a knack for putting players in positions to succeed, whether they're veterans or rookies. Williams' emergence is just another example of how Flores' system brings out the best in everyone. What's your favorite Flores moment from last season? Or are you just hyped to see what he does with this loaded D-line in 2025? Drop it in the comments and let's get the conversation going. The Vikings' defensive line isn't just about stopping the run anymore. It's about versatility. With Allen and Hargrave's experience, Phillips' leadership, and young guns like Redmond and Williams, this unit can do it all. They can stuff the run, pressure the quarterback, and rotate to stay fresh all game long. Harrison Phillips himself said it, having a deep rotation is key. Anytime you can go out there and platoon in 3 to 5 to 6 play roles, you can really attack with waves. That's the kind of depth that wins games, and Williams is proving he can be part of those waves. How do you think this D-line stacks up against the rest of the NFC North? Can they outshine the Lions or Bears? Let's hear your hot takes in the comments. Elijah Williams' story is the kind of thing that makes you proud to be a Vikings fan. Coming from a smaller school like Morgan State, he's had to fight for every opportunity. Yet here he is, outshining expectations and making the coaching staff rethink their roster plans. That's the kind of heart we love in Minnesota. What's wild is how consistent he's been. 2 preseason games, 2 standout performances. He's not just flashing potential, he's proving he belongs. But with so much talent on the D-line, the Vikings have a tough call to make. Do you think Williams has what it takes to be a starter one day? Or is he better suited as a rotational piece? Share your thoughts below, and let's see if Vikings Nation agrees. Let's give some love to Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, because this man is building something special. His aggressive moves in the offseason, landing Allen and Hargrave, drafting Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, and finding guys like Williams, show he's not afraid to take risks. The Athletic even said the Vikings are over the moon about their front seven, and it's easy to see why. Kwesi's knack for finding talent in unexpected places is becoming a hallmark of his tenure. From Redmond to Taimani to now Williams, he's building a culture of opportunity where hard work pays off. That's the kind of GM we need leading the Vikings. What's been your favorite Kwesi move so far? Is it the big-name signings or these underdog finds? Hit the comments and let me know. Roster cuts are always the toughest part of training camp, and this year's D-line decisions are going to be brutal. The projected 53-man roster has Allen, Hargrave, Phillips, Redmond, Rodriguez, and Ingram-Dawkins as locks, but Williams is making a strong case. Some reports even suggest he could get claimed off waivers if the Vikings try to stash him on the practice squad. That's the kind of problem you want to have. Too much talent to fit on one roster. But it also means some tough choices are coming. Do the Vikings keep an extra D lineman to hold on to Williams? Or do they roll the dice and hope he clears waivers? What's your strategy, Vikings Nation? Keep Williams on the 53, or trust the depth and take the risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments. As we wrap up this deep dive into the Vikings training camp, one thing's clear. Elijah Williams is a name to watch. This undrafted rookie is turning heads and making it impossible for the coaching staff to ignore him. With Flores' scheme, Kwesi's scouting, and a stacked D-line, the Vikings are building something special for 2025. The bigger question is, what does this mean for the season? A dominant defensive line could be the key to shutting down NFC North rivals and making a playoff push. With Williams adding to the depth, the Vikings might just have the firepower to go all the way. What's your prediction for the Vikings defense this year? Are we Super Bowl bound? Or do we need a few more pieces? Let's hear it in the comments. Alright, Vikings Nation, that's the scoop on Elijah Williams and the red-hot Vikings defensive line. If you're as hyped as I am about this team, smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more Vikings news. Share this video with your fellow Skol fans, because we're building something special here in Minnesota. Let's keep the purple pride alive. Skol Vikings!